In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to work a passive range liftoff for internal rotation here in this 90-90 position. So setup is pretty simple. Like normal, right? We get our front shin parallel to our back thigh, front thigh parallel to our back shin. So we're going to be working on this trail leg. We're going to do a passive range liftoff. Now, when we do a passive range liftoff, this isn't primarily a isometric effort. This is an actual concentric effort, meaning there is going to be movement that's occurring. So if you try and create this passive range liftoff by trying to lift the foot off the ground and you're too wound up into internal rotation, you're not going to have enough space to actually lift up, right? Because you've taken all the slack up. You want to create this movement, so you want to face forward and give yourself enough so that you can actually lift and create this rotation through the hip, right? Now you want to imagine like you're frozen in ice and the only thing you can move is this hip. So as you lift that foot up, you're trying not to lean, you're not trying to move or shift your torso, and you're definitely not like side bending to the spine, okay? You want to make sure you're able to stay stiff. As you stiffen up, you slowly lift. Now, positioning is key here. If I want to be able to lift up, I have to give myself enough space. So you can stay vertical. If that's too difficult, you can lean forward, and you'll notice that the further I go, the easier it's going to be for me to lift up. Okay? Remember, this is a concentric effort. Give yourself that space. You want to create that motion. So it's okay if you feel a stretch here, but then to create an active lift off, you have to get here. That's okay, that's fine. Our goal in practicing this is in trying to close that gap. So one day you might be here, once you get better, you're here, eventually you're here, and then you're able to create just enough lift off, but you've closed off that gap between your passive range of motion and your active. So just be patient. If you want to make it a little tougher, like I said, you can wind up into more internal rotation, or you can get more vertical. By getting more vertical, you're also abducting the hip, or kind of winding up more of the tissues and kind of loading passively the groin area or the inside. So it's going to make it a little tougher for you to actually create movement. Like I said, you have to give yourself enough of a, I guess you could call it runway, or enough space for you to create that motion. And that's very important in how you try and set up the position. So that's how you do a passive range liftoff for internal rotation in the 90-90.